How do you get your money when you win a case, but the person is located in a different country? Let's just answer it first of all by taking the first part. How do you get your money when you win a case? How do you get your money? You guys went to court, you win. Well, guess what? A lot of times people don't get the money. When you win a case, you don't have to write it, or the loser doesn't have to write a check to leave the courtroom. Instead, the judge makes a decree. They write a judgment that says, here's what's going to happen. And then it is up to the winner to enforce that judgment. And how do they enforce the judgment? Well, through court cases. So what happens is that the winner will then take that judgment and turn it into some kind of actionable thing, and then, for example, give it to the local sheriff. I had a client recently call me and say, hey, the sheriff just came and took all the money out of my cash register. What do I do? And well, the sheriff had an order from the court to do that. Sometimes the sheriff will go to the bank and say, freeze their accounts. And so you can now deposit money into your account, but you can't get the money back out of the account. So the sheriff will enforce that judgment for you. And the sheriff, as the legal authority, is permitted to do this if the judge tells the sheriff to do that. You can also make a lien. You can turn that judgment into a lien against property. So, for example, if the person who lost has real estate or some other property that can have a lien against it, then that judgment can turn as a lien. Real estate is the most common thing. And so sometimes when someone will go to buy a house or an apartment building or whatever, they realize that it has no clear title. Clear title means that there's a lien against a title, and the only way to resolve it is to pay off the judgment. So someone got sued for $100,000. They sold their house for $200,000. There's a $100,000 mortgage and a $100,000 judgment on it. So at closing time, the attorney closing, which, we do this, we write a check to the bank to pay off the mortgage, then we write a check to the court to pay off the judgment, and then the seller gets nothing. That stinks. Okay, so that's how you get your money when you win a case. And by the way, sometimes those fail because sometimes the loser has no assets. There's nothing to put a judgment against, nothing to put a lien against, no bank account, or the bank account has no money in it or not enough money in it. This happens. So, but what about if the loser is in a different country? Okay, well, this gets a lot harder. So what has to happen is I told you took your winning judgment and you went to a court and asked them to turn it into something that could be executed against. Good. Okay, you would do the same thing in the foreign country. And so let's just say that India, which has a legal system a lot like America's, is where the person lives. You would have to go to a court in India that has jurisdiction or venue or whatever over the person who you're trying to get after and say, I've got a judgment in this court in America. I want you to turn it into a judgment in this court in India. And then maybe that works, maybe that doesn't. Obviously, you're going to have to work with an attorney in that area who knows how to do this. Then they're going to do many of the same processes. And obviously, if you think, man, that sounds hard, you are right. It is going to be hard. Well, what about if you're in a country that doesn't have a really good relationship with yours? So, for example, let's just say someone in America has a judgment against somebody in Iraq or Iran. Well, you might as well just stop now. That's not going to work. These two countries aren't getting along, and so I would not expect the Iranian courts to really care what an American court says. So you are always going to need to hire a local attorney in that area, or maybe there's a different person that's not an attorney but has that kind of authority to help you convert your judgment into something that can be enforced locally. And the more complicated it is, the chances of success go down. So that's just a sad but true statement. If you have questions, share them. I love answering your questions. And if you like watching these videos, make sure to hit the subscribe or follow button. It's been nice talking to you, and we'll see you soon.